Let's take a look at the details of those stories now. The Speaker of Parliament, Edward Doe Ajaho, has directed the Committee on Works and Housing and the leadership of other relevant committees to, within a month, investigate and report back to the House on last week's demolition exercise at Agape.
On Wednesday, February 5, the chairman of Parliament's Works and Housing Committee told Joynews the committee can only intervene in the matter if the Speaker of the House officially refers it to them. He was, however, quick to add that the MP for Tema West had promised to petition the Speaker on the matter. True to her promise, the Tema West MP on Thursday, February 6, made a statement on the floor of the House asking relevant questions about the Agape demolition exercise.
The often asked questions when these demolitions are done is 1. How did the residents acquire the land? 2. How did they build houses and live there for 7 to 10 years without being noticed by the TDC? 3. What steps did the TDC take in that direction?
Chairman of the Works and Housing Committee, who asked for a referral of the matter by the Speaker, asked that the leadership of the House handles the case. But the Speaker and other members of the House, including the Majority Chief Whip and the Minority Leader, disagreed.
The deficit in housing in our country is a real challenge. And because it is a real challenge, almost every one of us as a Ghanaian, your first ambition is to be able to get a shelter for you and your family.
But the issues that ensue from the demolition of structures at the Agape are matters that should concern all of us. The Speaker, first, as the maker of the statement himself said, the manner of the demolition of the structures leaves much to be desired. People who had left for their workplaces and having to be called back by children and other dependents, that demolition was going on.
MP for Nadoli Kaleo and former Minister for Works and Housing, Apana, who sided with the Speaker, suggested the committee be given time to investigate the matter, after which the Speaker gave his direction.
And I think that the Committee on Works and Housing should have the authority to delve into these matters and maybe come out with a report that can allow this House and government to relook at the issue of TDC and the demolition exercises that have been going all over the years. I recommend that the committee should take it up and maybe report within a matter of a month at most for the House to look at it and advise government as to the way forward.
I direct that the Select Committee on Works and Housing should be mandated to look into this matter. I will consult with the leadership and add some members from the constitutional and legal, because there are legal issues that are likely to be raised in the process of the inquiry.
Meanwhile, the House has approved of the Anti-Money Laundering Amendment Bill 2013, which is expected to curb the increase in the number of money laundering cases in the country. In another development, the Israeli ambassador to Ghana has paid a courtesy call on the House. Her visit was to discuss the existing relationship between the Ghanaian and Israeli parliaments. The Ugandan Chief Justice is also expected to visit the House on Friday, February 7.
Well, some victims of female genital mutilation in the Wa municipality of the Upper West region have made a passionate appeal to mothers to stop the practice. According to them, apart from the stigma associated with the practice, victims also have difficulty during childbirth. They are also urging governments to help educate people in rural communities about the negative effects of the practice. From Wa, here's a report by Rafiq Salam.
Although the practice of mutilating the female genitalia is not completely abolished from the custom of the people in the municipality, the practice is now done on the quiet. The communal life of people here also compounds the issues, as they are not willing to disclose areas where the practice is still rife, thus making it difficult to collate data about the act. However, some women who went through the practice a little over 3 decades ago, when they were only 7 days old, are now shying away from it. Hannah Abubakar is a student nurse at a health assistance training school. She walked me through the stigma she and her colleagues who are circumcised have endured during their school days.
Those of us that they've circumcised, we do go a lot of stigma from our colleagues. They do tease us, oh, this person, you not enjoy sex, what's that? Because the clitoris is the most sensitive part of the female genitalia, which makes one enjoy sex most.
Hannah survived the teasing from her colleagues, but she has a major challenge on her hand now. She is pregnant and fears that she may have to deliver her baby through cesarean section, just like one of her aunties.
An auntie of mine, through her being not her clitoris not being removed well, she have gone through cesarean section for 6 good times during her delivery, and according to her, the midwife told her that it's because her clitoris was not being removed or circumcised, so that's the cause of her not giving birth all by herself.
A middle-aged market woman, Kutum Asiku, told the news team the practice is not good, citing intimacy problems in her marriage. I always have difficulties when having sex with my husband. The second thing is that anytime I am to deliver, I have to go through cesarean section, which is more painful than delivering on my own. Several attempts to seek the opinion of men about the practice and whether it influences the women they had as sexual partners were unsuccessful until the news team met Samuel Tichi, a student at the WA campus of the University for Development Studies.
From God's own knowledge, the clitoris has a very vital role in sex. So if somebody sitting in his village decides to take it off, it's an insult to God. That's the first, and it's reduces that sexual pleasure the lady is supposed to get during sex. So I will go for the unmutilated.
The victims of the practice on this special day are launching a special appeal to mothers not to inflict the same pain on the next generation of baby girls.
It is indeed a no-no against FGMs. Now, 4 candidates contesting for national executive elections of the opposition New Patriotic Party have filed their nominations ahead of the official date scheduled by the party to receive nominations. The 4 include incumbent First Vice Chairman Fred Owari, who is aspiring to become the national chairman, and incumbent General Secretary Kwadwo Oswefuye.
42 candidates who picked up nomination forms, excluding the 4, are also expected to file their nominations between February 7 and 10.
If you look at that of chairmanship, you have Mr. Fred Owari, who has filed his nomination already. Madam Esther Ofori is filed as national treasurer. Hobson Adoye is filed as national organizer, and Kwadwo Oswefuye, alias John, is filed for general secretary. All of these have paid the relevant fees that they were required to pay, and so they are set to appear before the vetting committee between the 12th and the 13th of February.
The NPP has meanwhile slated April 12 this year to hold its National Delegates Conference and elect national executive officers at Tamale.
It will be preceded by the Annual Delegates Conference. We will receive reports from the national chairman on their stewardship. You would see reports from the treasurer and any other matters that conference may deliberate on. And then immediately after the conference is brought to a closure, we move straight into the voting process.
Director of Elections for the party, Mati Ejime-Sankosa, explained the issue of cost regarding the funding of the conference.
No budget has been planned yet for the Tamale event. The committee is considering estimates for that. The decision by the parliamentary group was as per a budget that they presented, and the venue of that event they intended, on whose budget they had drawn, was for Sunyani.
The April 12 conference is expected to bring the rank and file of the party under one umbrella to address several issues, including the internal wranglings within the party and plans to forge ahead for victory in the 2016 elections.
Well, President Mahama has echoed that government is taking some tough and bitter decisions on the economy and its in its quest to put it on a sound footing. Speaking at an annual cocktail with heads of diplomatic missions in Ghana, the president said despite the country's challenges, government is still compelled to take some more hard decisions to, among others, deal with the escalating expenditure. There's more in the following report. The annual meeting, which has become a ritual on the diplomatic calendar, brings together ambassadors, high commissioners, other heads of diplomatic missions, as well as traditional and religious leaders to network and hold informal bilateral discussions. The president said his government is making a lot of adjustments on how public funds are spent to deal with Ghana's current economic challenges.
I'm happy to say that most of the challenges that faced Ghana last year have been properly and fundamentally addressed. Our donor and development partners have resumed development assistance in critical areas of our economy. Now we're looking forward to an exciting and promising new year, 2014. Our economic management team, led by my capable Vice President, Kwesi Emisa-Atta, has begun the implementation of our ambitious 2014 budget. This budget is designed to achieve a proper calibration of our macroeconomic fundamentals to ensure that the economy continues to stay on a positive trajectory. We are taking some tough decisions. We're swallowing some bitter medicine and strengthening the fundamentals to ensure a better and brighter economic future for our people.
He re-echoed plans to deal with infrastructure deficit, which will in effect contribute to the growth of businesses.
We've taken the necessary steps to establish a Ghana Infrastructure Fund to address this deficit and bring the level of our infrastructure to that fitting of a middle-income country. This fund will support projects that facilitate the smooth operation of businesses and the creation of jobs and decent work for our young people.
The Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and Zimbabwean Ambassador to Ghana, Parvin Tendai, pledged their support to Ghana in achieving the MDGs by 2015. She praised gender equality in leadership on the African continent lately and wished Ghana's Black Stars well.
Africa has been over-dependent on trade and investment between itself and the international community. It is therefore our wish that 2014 be a landmark year to greater regional integration, infrastructure expansion, and formulation of policy frameworks that will ease intra-African trade and investment. As most of our countries on the African continent will not be represented by our respective national soccer teams, we count on the Black Stars to break new ground by bringing the World Cup to Africa. The year 2014 provides a crucial opportunity for addressing the remaining challenges for full achievement of the MDGs in Ghana. The international community stands firmly behind Ghana in supporting a final push towards full achievement of the MD agenda by the end of 2015.
Currently, 126 heads of missions are represented and resident in Ghana. 4 more from Mexico, Serbia, Kuwait and New Zealand are expected to join this year. The Diplomatic Corps also paid tribute to the memories of Professor Kofi Awuno and Komla Dumont. For Joynews, Gifty Andapia, Pedrasi Lodge. The police hospital in Accra should take in more patients by 2015 when expansion works currently ongoing there are expected to be complete. Vice President Kwesi Emisa-Atta has meanwhile cautioned the police service to cultivate a culture of maintenance to prevent the dilapidation seen on other facilities belonging to the service. He made the charge during an inspection tour of the hospital project on Thursday. Construction works to expand the hospital started some 10 years ago. Although it is not close to finish, contractors International Hospitals Group insist work will be done by April 2015.
It's £40 million sterling for the 104-bed hospital that you have coming up here. And we have every means to defend whatever cost that we have put together. The police hospital is scheduled for April 2016. Unless there's an act of God that is going to change the direction. Otherwise, we're going to finish on time, and I stand by it as a local consultant that it is going to be done.
At a time when complaints of economic hardship are ripe and government constantly reassuring that it will fix it, journalists on the tour were curious about available financing for the project. The Vice President said financing arrangement to complete it had already been done.
Impressive, but it's also taken more than 10 years to get to where we are. And that says that we have to plan the financing of these projects before we start. Otherwise, we spend money and then we have to repair the damage that's been done after so many years of inaction at the building sites. We look around at the environment, police barracks. They're not something that we are all enthused about. So I hope that in those ones that have been done, we'll not see what we see behind us after 1 year, after 2 years, so that the level of inspection and so on should be enhanced. I'm told that they are 2 weeks ahead of schedule as they are working. So I know that, and I have full confidence that they'll be able to deliver on time.
The hospital, which originally catered for members of the Ghana Police Service and their dependents, as well as health-related cases of the police service, now serves a larger section of the public, hence the need for rehabilitation and retooling. In 2013, it became one of the few centers for healthcare delivery when doctors in the country embarked on an industrial action. Keftian Rapia, Joynews, Police Hospital, Cantonment, Accra.
It is still the primetime bulletin here on Joynews on Multi TV, also on ABN TV. We'll take a break here. We'll return with some more news. Please stay. Let's deal with health now. Breast and prostate cancer are the most common forms of cancer in Ghana. That's according to the head of the surgical department of Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, Professor Joynews. Early detection, which is the surest way of arresting the situation, however, remains a challenge due to human behavior. Marian Ture has been examining the challenges associated with the detection and diagnosis of breast cancer in Ghana.
The head of Korle Bu's surgical department, Professor Joynews, explains misconceptions about cancer are a major challenge impeding the fight against the disease.
People have a lot of misconceptions about breast cancer, for example, and you try to educate them. Some of them you would get through, some you can't. But I think you can only fight ideas with ideas. What we have done in this place is that we have now had breast nurses who, that's all they do. They do breast, and they follow up the breast patients. So patients who come like that, we put them in touch with them because they need constant reassurance, constant counseling, and so on. And sometimes it's only by doing that you deal with the misconceptions. Sometimes they don't tell you why they are not coming. They may come the first day, you don't see them again.
The cost of treatment of cancers is spiraling out of control, even for high-income countries. Prevention is absolutely critical, but this has been somewhat neglected in Ghana.
So it's important to invest in preventing cancer, to invest into catching cancer early, because it's the late cancers which are more expensive or more costly to treat. If we can catch them early or even prevent them, we would actually save our people, save money for the economy. So that money can then be used for other things. But as it is now, we're actually using the money to treat people, and we can use less amount of money to actually prevent it or catch it early and spend less money on it. So the investment to cancer is needed. It's vital. Unfortunately, we've been investing money into health, but we think we have not invested enough into cancer. Perhaps we don't recognize the importance of cancer in our society, but it's increasing in number and it is becoming an increasing burden. And unless we do something about it, more and more cancers are occurring because we are living more and more like the Caucasians.
Professor Clegg Lamptey says women in their menopausal stage should do a breast exam once a month, preferably a week after their monthly period.
First of all, we say you should examine your own breast. So every girl who has a blood breast should learn how to do breast self-examination a week after the periods, because before the periods the breasts are a bit tender and so on. So a week after the periods, just examine your own breasts. From the age of 30, you should go to the hospital once a year and let the doctor also examine you. From the age of 40, ideally have mammograms every year or every 2 years.
The best way to reduce one's risk of cancer is to adapt healthy lifestyles. Marian Toure, Joynews, Accra.
Residents of Agape, a suburb of Accra, have been thrown into a state of fear since armed robbers posted notices demanding money. Reports indicate the notices asked residents to pay 500 cedis through MTN mobile money by December 30, 2013. Even though police say they have improved their presence in the community, residents are complaining it is not enough considering the terror they face.
Though they had a lot to say, the residents refused to talk to Joynews on camera for fear of being identified and victimized. Everyone the news team spoke to complained the armed robbers were terrorizing them. They suspect these robbers are within the community. Joynews also gathered the community is home to some land guards. None of the residents Joynews interacted with had the demand notice posted on their walls, but they were sure the notices were posted around the community.
I've been roaming in the community for the past 2 hours, but I've not seen the notice from the armed robbers, which is probably understandable because I'm told the notices were put up somewhere in November last year. Though police say they've intensified security following the threats, I've not sighted any police patrol during the 2 hours that I've been in this community. And I'm also told the nearest police station is at Anya, quite a distance from this community.
5 million. I want to be a 5 million sister. Me journey. If 2 million crowd on the mini. Now, I'm sure I'm going to be a senator. So, Bekume, no, I'm in my home.
Let's all go down to her. That's what your phone bill and a samba. I'm not trouble. I say if you be 5 million, 5 million. Which, yeah, see what friend on my big. Now I show has no man to mouse. Mumma say if you do this 5 million about so to say, you don't mess that have a shake cards. If you are cards in your mission, might be on my and when Niska, I'm sorry, in a bed and some baby, high in a shoe. So, I'm with this can only be our own so much could you know how many we are.
Another resident, however, confirmed police patrols in the area, but said their patrols were usually during midnight. Janet Asan is a victim of recent robbery at Agape.
It's 26 now, they're 27 for me. That I'm not much to notice now, but down home, I say, or mobile baby, or me then the man tram or by me by now, or my boo area. A mobile 60 bucks, the almost a boy.
Now reporting my police for more candy.
Make a report here when you're police station, but on my country, on by a man, yes, be our shop or by near man and almost society. The Bamboka cry, Yamina Bambo for your Nipa dear, went to minty.
From all indications, the residents of Agape are not satisfied with the level of security provided for them. They would want to see more policemen protecting them and their properties.
Really scary. Several major roads in the capital continue to suffer wear and tear due to the presence of heavy trucks and shoddy works by contractors. Joynews' Patricia Gasso reports that one such road in Accra's industrial area is on the verge of being totally destroyed following its constant use by heavy-duty trucks and the failure of authorities to deal with the situation.
The industrial area road, as its name suggests, is a major road used to convey mostly goods from the various factories in the mainly manufacturing hub to the city centers. Considering the important role this stretch of road plays in our national economy, one would expect that the road will be in the very best of shapes, if not the best. But sadly, that is not the case.
This is one of the most used roads here in Accra that have been left in a bad shape. And the question we ask is, could it be blame on the shoddy work of a contractor or the continuous plying of this road by the heavy-duty trucks?
The once smoothly tarred road is now shapeless and bumpy.
Drivers have to slow down in order not to be thrown off by the many bumps created as a result of the heavy trucks. Traffic jam are a regular occurrence on this road as both commercial trucks and private vehicles have to manage the single lane available. Some truck drivers I spoke with said they are not solely to blame for the poor nature of the road.
It's not because of the big trucks, but rather the maintenance of the road is not proper. The way they do the road is not the way they're supposed to do it. If we come to a point where you see this type, they will dig and they'll find out the solution under there before they will refill it and then put the quota. But these people, they will just come and use the pickers, just do whatever they can do, and then where they go.
They are not the only ones absolving themselves of blame. Many truck drivers have disputed claims that they are responsible for the deplorable state of many roads across the country. Just last week, the Ghana Highway Authority asked truck drivers to adhere to the new axle load limit to save the nation's road network from untimely deterioration and needless rehabilitation works. But the drivers are yet to comply with the directive. But the big question is, how is the new directive being enforced to help to save the country's roads?
"23-year-old Apana Abolga can no longer swallow his food the normal way, that is, through his mouth. His meals have to be made in liquid and fed in via a tube connected to his stomach through an opening that has been cut on his side. This is as a result of a complication that he suffered following a surgery performed on him at the Tamale Teaching Hospital to get rid of a bone that got choked in his throat. Upper East correspondent Albert Sori reports.
Sometime last year, Apana Abolga got his throat choked by a fishbone after eating a plate of rice and beans popularly known as wachi. After several attempts to get rid of the bone, he was taken to the Bolgatanga Hospital for a checkup. His mother got to know that there was no bone, but rather a sore. After several weeks of taking medicines to treat the sore, Apana's situation got worse. According to his mother, Apana's cough has blood in it. Young Apana is going through a lot of pain. Doctors at the National Cardiothoracic Center at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, where he had his recent surgery, say Apana owes the facility 10,748 Ghana cedis for surgery that was performed. This amount has to be paid plus an extra $3,000 or its equivalent in Ghana cedis for a second and final surgery to be performed on Apana. Apana's mother, Ayampoka, says she cannot raise the money and wants the public to support. It has been 6 months since the tube was fixed into him. The tube is now weak and it has also become more expensive to feed him because he has to be fed at least 5 times every day.
Education at Nzulezu in the Jomoro district of the Western region is not the best because teachers have refused to stay in the community. Those who stay are uncomfortable living on stilts and fear they could drown if the structure collapses.
Nzulezu's entire community built on stilts. The village attracts a lot of tourists who love to cruise on their Manzuri Community River, enjoying the rare and beautiful scenery of wooden homes suspended on sticks in water. Nzulezu in Nzima language means on water. However, beneath the marvel of Nzulezu are many challenges. Pupil teachers there claim they have not been paid for 2 years. Old Nzulezu DA Primary School is the only school available in the community. The school has 3 teachers and a head teacher who are all untrained. Some classes are sometimes combined to make up for the lack of teachers and infrastructure. Nursery 1 and 2 are combined in one classroom, with class 1 and 2 also in another. Classes 3, 4, 5 and 6 are all lumped together in one classroom. Students who graduate to the junior high school have to attend JHS in the next village, Benin. The journey to Benin is an hour, which means pupils have to endure 2 hours on their Manzuri River every day to have education. I spoke to some of the teachers who are mostly SS graduates.
It is true that the class have been combined. The problem is we lack of teachers. the teachers are not up to the number. That is why we combined the classes. So the main problem is what we are lacking of teachers. That is why the classes are combined.
Okay.
We use the same water of drinking for bathing, for cooking, for doing everything.
It affects the students but in this situation, the children themselves does not learn.
They don't learn.
They don't learn because when the light came in, they were watching the video. They were watching the video and look at it. They've been killing them all the time. So when they are parents too, they don't monitor them. So don't you ask them, what's your homework? Go and learn. They'll be watching the video then.
A tour guide who gave his name only as Alex explained to us that the river is one of the major factors that is stopping teachers from accepting posting to the community. Alex comes to the classroom to teach after his regular work. He pleads with government to train the pupil teachers in the community instead. He believes since they are part of the community, they will definitely return to help the young ones.
Okay, actually I'm not a teacher, but it seems the school lacks teachers. So whenever I'm free from work, I come and help the community. So I'm not part of the teachers.
We also spoke to a resident of Nzulezu.
Okay, because the teachers, the government put them to here. When they come, because of the water, some of them are sick, so they will come for the first term. When they return back for the second term, they won't come because some of them are sick because of the water. So.
The community, according to the assistant head teacher, lacks social infrastructure and hopes government will come to its aid.
Abigail Adumakoenchi is next with business news.
So the awaited MPC meeting was held today, and we'll be bringing you details of that and others. My name is Abigail Adumakoenchi. Now, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana has increased the policy rate from 16% to 18%. The MPC's decision follows risk to exchange rate stability and inflation resulting from the continuous depreciation of the cedi. The committee says the move is to make cedi assets more attractive to investors and subsequently strengthen it.
The emergency meeting by the MPC follows current domestic economic development, particularly that of the falling currency. According to the MPC, fiscal imbalances and external pressures resulted in a current account deficit of 12.3% of GDP, which worsened terms of trade, and a significant decline in net current transfer receipts. Cocoa and gold export receipts also declined by $1.3 billion, leaving the overall balance of payment deficit of $1.2 billion, the same as 2012. These developments resulted in a faster pace of depreciation in the cedi since December 2013, ending January 2014 with a 7.8% fall. The MPC has, however, been forced to tighten its monetary policies, increasing the policy rate by 200 basis points.
The uncertainties in the outlook and weakened domestic fundamentals underscore the need for continued tight fiscal and monetary policies and measures that would reduce the country's vulnerability to shocks, re-anchor inflation expectations, and sustain macroeconomic stability. Based on the evaluation, the committee is of the view that the risks to inflation and exchange rate stability are highly elevated, and therefore decided to increase the policy rate by 200 basis points to 18%.
New foreign exchange regulations allow a withdrawal of $10,000 only permitted for travel purposes outside Ghana. Analysts, however, argue the measure will deprive the system of foreign currency as hoarding is in the offing. But the MPC says the move is to make the cedi attractive.
With these policies, especially the hike in the foreign exchange, in the rate, the policy rate, is to really make those cedi assets more attractive, and therefore instead of going to put your money in buy dollars and so on, you will rather buy treasury bills, Bank of Ghana bills, and so on. Whether it leads to hoarding, maybe initially yes, but eventually as the policies gain root, when we succeed in getting people to see the profits or the profitability of investing in our city assets, we would see that hoarding will also go away. We'll see people bringing their dollars.
He also added that the limit in foreign currency withdrawals will fight against money laundering. The MPC has meanwhile called on government to broaden the tax and export base, reduce imports and intensify efforts to block foreign exchange leakages like transfer pricing. Reporting from the Central Bank, Abigail Adumakwenchi for Joy News. Well, we'll still stay with the Bank of Ghana, and the governor, Dr. Henry Kofi Wampa, has cautioned businesses, including government institutions, to desist from quoting prices in foreign currency or face sanctions. Speaking at the first MPC meeting for the year, Dr. Wampa also mentioned that the bank will collaborate with security agencies to clamp down on the activities of the black market operatives who contribute to the depreciation of the cedi.
The black market, I think we would have to collaborate with the security agency to see how we can collaborate to ensure that, black market activities are the minimum. It will be a very difficult thing though, so mostly sometimes you have to rely on tips and so on, because sometimes people do it even in their rooms. I know that it will be a difficult issue, but I believe that if you have a transparent way of dealing with the issues as we are trying to do, you will gradually get a lot of those transactions into the official channels. What will remain out there will be small transactions. Quotation of prices in cities, government is also included in the restriction. Government is also included. Indeed, I've had discussions with the minister on these foreign currency loans, because sometimes you hear a government agency contracting foreign currency loan with a bank and so on. He is giving, or has already given, the instruction to all MDAs to desist from that. That is barring them from doing that. So it is a concerted effort, not just the private sector, but government institutions as well.
In other news, some 500 businesses are expected to converge at the Ghana Trade Fair Center from the latter part of February for the 2014 edition of the Ghana International Trade Fair. The fair, aimed at promoting long-term partnerships among business organizations, will draw participants mostly from Ghana and South Africa.
To run from February 27 to March 10, the 18th Ghana International Trade Fair will be one of the major economic activities this year. Organizers of the fair have indicated local and foreign businesses ranging from agriculture, oil and gas, healthcare to science and technology will have the opportunity to exhibit new ideas and innovations. South Africa is coming on board as a guest country for the fair. According to the Trade Fair Center, the primary focus of the fair is to showcase innovations from over 500 exhibitors and promote business partnerships rather than sell products.
It's pathetic when you see foreigners come to make the market and then they go. We have some Indian companies, for instance, they came in to sign contracts with Ghanaian counterparts with some of the products that they came to exhibit in Ghana. Why is it that Ghanaian companies that not get these partners for their friends or brothers here in Ghana? Because the things that they exhibit, sometimes the person who is even showcasing has no idea of what the product is, because the manufacturer or the producer just called anybody at all, come and sit in the shop, whoever comes. So how much is this 10 Ghana cedi? What is it and what is it goes into it? He or she has no idea. So we've taken it upon ourselves. This campaign we started last year and we are going to continue. We need to inform them, educate them.
Deputy Chief Executive of the Trade Fair Center, Nana Kwame Ofori Amanfo, revealed they expect to raise about 800,000 cedis from the fair.
We hope that we'll be able to raise close to 800,000 Ghana cedis. Our projected expenditure, which includes a stand promotion, security, water, electricity, the ups and downs, everything, the repairs, a few repairs to the washrooms and other things, comes to the region of between 500 and 600.
Side events at the fair include business interactions and seminars, as well as a musical show to coincide with Independence Day celebrations. Some 250,000 visitors are expected to attend the fair.
And that'll be all by way of business reports. I'm Abigail Adumakuenchi.
We begin tonight's sports on a pugilistic note, and Bukom Banku versus Aite Powers is no more a mirage because both boxers have agreed on paper to face off in the ring on April 25 in Accra. The bout, to be promoted by the Accra-based Box Office Promotions, will see both boxers share a purse in excess of 40,000 Ghana cedi. The official launch took place at the Accra Sports Stadium, and we bring you some sights and sounds there.
Today we are here to sign the contract for the much awaited fight between Bukom Banku and Aite Powers. Actually, we shadowed initially the fight for 26th of April, but due to my inquiries from the National Sports Authority, there will be a match on 27th year, and it will affect the date. So we need to shift a day earlier. So we are promoting this fight on the 25th of April, which is Friday. We want to sign a contract first, and if we get the green light from any of the sanctioning body that we've written to, like the WBA, WBO, the Pan-African title, so that we can put it online.
People know me that I'm a big popular man. The Ghana boss, I'm number one. This is my brother, Aite Powers. In my picking, I'm teaching in my area. And this time he say he go beat me. I don't understand that. Aite Powers, the bossing be small. He don't know nothing about the bossing.
Ability without mentality is barbarism. Bukom Banku can think he's big, is whatever it is. I'm going to stop Bukom Banku 6th round. He said he's going to stop me 7th round, but we are not going to fight up to 7th round.
All right, so now you know it's definitely going to happen. They've actually signed the papers, so let's find out what happens on the 25th of April now, Joe. Let's talk about this. And the final of the Omo Fantastic 5 Challenge will take place tomorrow at the Accra Sports Stadium after months of intense competition among primary schools. The competition is a concept put together by Unilever Ghana Limited as a means of promoting ideals of young children playing and learning with all debts and stains taken care by Omo. Category Manager of Unilever Ghana, Silver Aqua, tells Joy Sports expectations are high for tomorrow's final.
As I said, we are fully prepared and we have confidence. Our players, all of us, we have confidence. Looking at our training and everything, we are fully prepared. So we have the confidence that we are going to win this game and have the trip to travel to Brazil to watch the World Cup, which is coming on June.
I know we can take the trophy to Takrady and we can actually go to Brazil. No team, we are the unstoppable team. So I can feel that we are the winners. Absolutely, we can win because with God all things are possible. Through our trainings, our prayers and everything, we have our support. Tomorrow 60 supporters will come here to support us. And I think with that we can win the trophy and go straight to Brazil to watch the World Cup. We have trained. We train hard. We have the faithful to win, to go to Brazil.
All right, so these kids definitely are excited about it and want to be in Brazil, actually want to win it tomorrow. Let's now hear from Category Manager of Unilever Ghana, that's Sylvia Aqua.
Omo Fantastic 5 is a football competition among school children between the ages of 6 to 12. That is our core target, to unleash them the potential that they have, because we believe that children have some great potential, and if you allow them to be themselves, to be children as they are, they'll be able to develop to become better adults. We've had this idea over the years. We've been building on it, but this is the first time we've in terms of scope, we've made it very big. Okay, so it's something that we had in plan over the years, and we're doing it in bits. I think it's been very keen. The children have demonstrated great skills, which is exciting to see them, and it's encouraging as the concept that we want to establish is coming through the game. Our view is that there's going to be fair play, and the best team will come out to be the winner to go to Brazil.
I'm sure you have the best in sports as well. My name is George Adi Jr. Gifty joins us with some more. Have a good night. Sport.
Time it is. Now, have you ever wondered why most of our celebrities wear mostly dark sunglasses everywhere they go, irrespective of the time of day? So when is it the right time to wear sunglasses, and what are the implications of wearing these glasses at night? We hit the streets to find some answers to these questions.
Every now and then, when you find yourself at a concert, club, TV or radio station, you are likely to see some of our Ghanaian celebrities in dark glasses, irrespective of the time of the day. Ask them why they wear these glasses, and you will get different responses. Some will tell you it's part of their branding. Others will say they wear them because they are shy. And yet, others will tell you it's a fashion trend.
I think I look good in shades, and two, I'm most of the time camera shy, and when I'm in shades, you don't see my eye movement. And at times too, when you're going somewhere, to avoid eye contact, at times you look at things that you don't want people to see you're looking. I think the same thing applies to them. Most of them are shy, most of them are exposed to the lightning, and others too have their own reasons. So for me, I just wear shades because they look good on me. You see, today I'm doing my normal, I'm at the office, I'm doing my own thing, I'm not in shades. Yeah, but when I go to where the crowd is too much, that I wouldn't like to be watching around for people to notice me. I just wear my shades and I'm good to go.
But is that all there is to it? Dr. James Drea is an optometrist. He explains that wearing sunglasses at night and in enclosed spaces, even though may seem cool and fashionable, could have long-term effects.
The primary objective for wearing sunglasses is for protection. It also for cosmetic reasons. One can decide to wear sunglasses. But the issue of wearing sunglasses in the dark, yes, it doesn't really achieve any objective unless one wants to mask his appearance. Yes, which I guess most of these celebrities do. Yes, because there's no sun in the night, and I'm not sure they are exposed to high energy visible lights. So for that reason, I don't recommend them wearing sunglasses in the night. No.
Is it for the looks, really? Well, that's it for Showbiz. That's all for tonight, but our top stories again. Bank of Ghana increases its policy rate to 18% from 16% following a decline in value of the cedi and high inflation. Speaker of Parliament directs Works and Housing Committee to investigate circumstances surrounding the demolition of houses at Agape. And as we commemorate International Day Against Female Genital Mutilation, some victims have launched an appeal to mothers to stop the practice. 4 aspirants in the opposition New Patriotic Party's national executive elections have filed nominations ahead of date scheduled to receive nominations. And also residents of Agape, a suburb of Accra, call for increased security presence following notices believed to have been posted by armed robbers demanding money. That's all for tonight. My name is Gifty Andopia. Many thanks for your time. But do stay to join Nanan Sakwa as he brings you PM Express. Good evening.